Hi. Hi. Welcome to everybody. I see there's a few of you that have already gathered and come in, and I have sort of a tale of terror. This is a tale of terror for me. I have one of the people who was one of my very first members who went to post a question, and you can't post them to me unless you're subscribed to my channel.
Oh, yeah.
And she found out not only was she not subscribed, they'd thrown off her membership. She's a paid happy gardener. And the whole thing disappeared. And I called YouTube, and they're like, we don't know. Well, it's your records. What about your movies? Anyway, you might occasionally want to check that, because I wondered, because I lost 10 people overnight. And I was like, if they lost my 10 diehards, at least it's people who like me enough to come and say, why'd you kick me off? We can't do that. If you disappear, it's YouTube. It's going to let you know.
Yeah. I've had that happen. Like, all of a sudden I have 20 less subscribers one day, and it's like,
and then they're back 3 days later. Where the hell did they go? They stick them in a cave. I mean, really. Anyway, for those of you who don't know the face, because there's a lot of people that are connecting out of my group, this is Teri, and she's holding your space. Very busy job for that girl.
Yeah, bigger and bigger.
And so my program today is going to be a little bit different than a lot of them if you're from my channel and looking for it. Teri's going to lead us in a quick meditation, and she and I have discussed some themes, and I've got about 6 questions, and we'll go through those quickly. I mean, there's no reason to dwell on them because you don't have a real client to talk to. And then we'll come back, and we've got some really fun stuff to do for you to help improve yourself in 2024. So with that, Miss Teri, you get to lead us in the meditation.
All right, everybody, just get comfortable. Take a deep breath, breathing in through your nostrils, letting go through your mouth. Feel your body settle to your bed, your chair, wherever you are, and become aware of your heart space. Breathing in and out through your heart. Just imagine it. Now, right above your heart space, I want you to notice your high heart. It's in between the throat chakra and the heart chakra. It's a beautiful pink, like rose quartz. And what I want you to do is imagine angelic light coming in through the back of your heart chakra. Inhale it in. And as you exhale, feel that pink quartz, love, compassion, equanimity in every cell in your body. Now, recognize your throat chakra. Look at it. Feel it. This is a space of clarity where we speak our truth and hear our truths. So recognizing it, seeing a mirror there of diamond light today. Clarity of purpose, clarity of speaking, of hearing. Breathe that in. Beautiful diamond light in your heart or your throat chakra. As you exhale, see it expand through your physical form, your aura, and your light body, like a hologram all around you. So seeing the diamond light body and the pink body inside it, walking in your light, hearing it, being able to speak it clearly, and centering yourself back in your heart space. Abiding. How does this feel like now? What do you know now? What do you hear? What do you love? Breathing in, back into your physical form, calling in all your energy. And as you exhale, you're completely back in the present, revived, clarified, and loved. All right. Are you still
Very,
awake, Nancy Jean?
I'm here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the questions, and these were sent in when I put out a notice about a meeting. If I'm going to take questions during the meeting, I always ask people to please post them first. It does a couple things. It gives me a chance to think what cards and what stuff I need to have out on my desk to help you. And it also gives me a chance to think it through. And it gives Teri a chance to hear the kind of questions you guys ask. So this is going to be our first question, and it's from Good Vibrations Therapies. And she said, I'm good. I would like to know if a heart-based healing program that I'm starting to put together will be effective and successful. And so what I'm going to do, for those of you who have not been on my show before, I'm going to switch to my table so you can see what cards I pull. Anyway, isn't that cute? That's my table. Beautiful tablecloth on it.
It is
because
beautiful.
my 9 candles started on fire and it burnt my desk.
Oh,
It's true.
oh my gosh.
I know. We
Yeah.
happened to be standing right next to the room where the office is and got it stopped. But if we hadn't, it would have been a bit of a mess. So do you have any thoughts for this charming lady?
I do. Yeah, Good Vibrations Therapy. They're showing me a heart, and at the base of the heart, where the point is, there's a tendril, like a thread, and then on either side of it are 2 more threads. So they're talking about something about this being in 3 parts, or in 3 different areas that you can go into with it. And then I'll pull some cards on it.
Okay.
So I'm getting generosity. Something about how, well, a heart-based program is generosity, isn't it? It's always doing things out of your heart is generous. It's going to be a personal transformation. So not only for you, or for your people, good vibrations, but also for you. So, and a lot of times, we learn these things, and then when we teach them and help people, we grow so much more. We absorb it. It's like wisdom. And it's going to be very successful. So I pulled the card of prosperity. So there's Lord Ganesha sitting with all his goodies. So yeah, really good.
Sounds like you got effective in there too, which is really good. See, I'm going to put out 5 cards to ask this question. Okay, I've got a feeling it's going to take a bit longer for you to get this going than you think. One of it is you started this before and stopped, and right now you're seeking temperance for yourself. You're trying to figure out how to balance the healing program so that you're protecting yourself and you're healing other people. But as soon as you get that clear in your own mind, you got the 5 of Cups reversed, which means all old regrets and things you invested in that you thought were a waste of time will work. And I believe the 10 of Cups, right side up or upside down, it means prosperity, just not as quick. If it was right side up, it would mean this was coming immediately. And you have a friend around you that you discuss this stuff with. Let me see if what I'm saying here is right. Yeah, that friend is constantly telling you to wait, to hold back, but I don't think they're saying it out of the goodness of their heart. I think they're saying it because they're afraid if you move on and go on without them, they won't have the influence over you that they've had. So I don't know who that person is, but I would say the first thing you need to do to find your temperance is to get rid of that.
Yeah. I got, the minute you mentioned that other person, I got the same thing, that it's not out of the goodness of their heart. And they may not know that.
No, they think they're telling you the wise thing. They don't want you to be hurt. They don't want you to take the full step and go off into the universe. But the only way we learn is when we take those steps. Just imagine, have you ever watched a child learn to walk? God, if we didn't get over every time we fell down, we'd never get anywhere.
Yeah.
Mystic Michaela, how do I go forth with the calling I feel to help drug addicts? I feel a deep empathy in my heart for these people. Would starting training to become a counselor this year be a good idea? It's commendable for you to feel that way. And ask a flat yes, no. Your questions, all your questions are fitting into exactly what sort of the central theme of what we're looking at is about. It's we're a lot of people are being woken up to being light workers and wanting to do stuff with it, but we need to take care of ourselves first. And that's what I've gotten from what came in with the blue light is take care of yourself and build for yourself first. So, but we're going to ask now, should you start your training this year? Well, it's looking good so far, hon. Okay, it says yes. It would be, you're going to cast off a hard road. It's a lot of stuff you've built up. You can, by going into this course, and you have the money and the resources to do it right now. There's a really good leader in this course. And by going in and doing this, you're going to let go of a lot of other caring for people that you do. You're going to be able to emphasize this. And you're going to get yourself back on a better track to move forward. So I'd say it looks good. I would do it.
Yeah. Michaela, I get that you get playfulness. So kind of joy and wonder, like this is going to awaken that part of yourself. You're going to meet somebody at a retreat, this course, you know, going to those courses, the retreats, it's going to be your new love. It's going to bring harmony into your lives. And then that surrender and release that Nancy June was talking about, something about releasing something. I also get, I don't know if you're familiar with Gabor Mate. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's in the Vancouver area, I believe. But he is an amazing person that works with the homeless and people addicted to drugs. And amazing work. You might look them up.
Okay, I'm going to see. He showed up, but I hate to predict romance, man. If I had ever met all the princes that were supposed to come into my life, I'd be a bigamist. So,
yeah.
But I'm going to put 3 cards on this guy and see if he's the person you're going to connect with there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's not going to be the love of your life, but he's going to be someone you can have complete companionability with, like a real friendship. And he may be the love of your life, but he's gonna be really good at teaching you how to work with the craft you need to. So, yeah, go for it, girl.
Yeah, there'll be an enchantment there. So, yeah.
Should I, Marcy, 535? I don't know why YouTube started putting all those on your names, but should I start my own business this year, or will I find the right job for me? So that's 2 questions. So I'm going to lay one line of start your own business, and the other line is, are you going to find the right job for yourself this year? You can answer it any way you want, Teri. I don't care.
Okay.
That's how I handle those double questions.
No, I want to grab that. I like that.
This is the first one. This is start your new business. Well, I think you're going to start a business because you've got, this is really, yes. This is, the problem is that you need to get some clarity in your own mind about what it's going to be. But man, you're ready to move to it. Whenever I get the Knight of Swords in readings, it means a person's moving jobs or home. It's been since I was 12.
Wow.
So that's a long time. And it shows you're going to be some debate about it. When you first, this is the starting your own business. There's going to be some hiccups. It's not going to move as fast as you want. But you will eventually get past those who say no and move on. Now we're going to see about finding the right job that pays. Well, that's not good. Well, guess what? You may have options, girl. I think you're going to be really attracted to go to this other job, but you are going to find the job you like. You've gone through a series of bad passes, bad decisions. But if you just wait, the job you want, the goal you want is there. You're going to be hired by an older man who knows how to run his business. And I see it's going to be in the spring. That the Ace of Wands means spring to me. And what I think this sets you up so you can really think about what business you want to do. You're going to learn, you're going to finally have a good boss and see how businesses can be run well. So what'd you get, girl?
So on reading on starting your own business, set your priorities, like get your intentions, list them, what you want, exactly how you want it. It'll be healing for you. And I don't know if you're going into the healing business or what that looks like. You'll get some revelations there. So you're really going to see what you want. And it is the promise of the future. So it's like you going off into a new portal. I think it would be really good for you. So going to work for somebody else, finding the right job, I get surrender. So there might be something that you need to let go of.
Mm-hmm.
But they're very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And you might ask for support. You might ask the people around you for that job. Whoever you find, generosity. You saw that too, didn't you, Nancy Jean?
Yeah.
It's going to be really good. And it's going to be a personal transformation. So I think this could be a lead in to working on
And
your
it
own.
may lead you to what you can do that becomes your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we've got two more, three more. Okay, Tammy. This is from Tammy Jackson. And if you watch my channel for any length of time, you know Tammy. And I have been feeling off. Her mother passed away over the Christmas holidays. Any guidance that would help you focus again. Even my body is suffering with lots of pain. I can tell you what the pain is. That's your body detoxing out all the things I shoulda, coulda, would have done that would have made me feel less. And we feel guilt and regrets no matter if we had the most perfect relationship ever. If we didn't, which even I'm a mother and I know my kids would never say they had the most perfect relationship they could have had with me. There's a lot of letting go and pain. And I missed that in a way for a while because my mother died when I was in the middle of one of my first political campaigns, and they knew she was dying and they didn't tell me till she died. I whizzed in for the funeral and then I roared back out into a completely different world. And my husband had died 4 months before. So I was literally in a state of pain and shock. And so work on letting those feelings go, Tammy. And I'm not going to even lay cards on this because that's how I ended up in the hospital with double pneumonia about a year later and almost died. So really, truly acknowledge the pain and do anything you can do that lessens the pain. If it's going out and seeing a pretty sunrise or a sunset, I would never see a pretty sunrise. I'm not a morning person. Whatever you find. And we're going to talk about a lot of things you can do for yourself. So hang in there, kid. And what do you see? Maybe Teri can give you better advice than I can. It's hard.
I don't know about that. It's tough. Grief is tough. And everybody's grief is different, Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
I do see they are showing me a lot of water. So they're talking about water down the drain. They're also talking to me about cleansing, so the toxins.
Mm-hmm.
Just letting go of all that, and part of that's accepting in that blue light and that pink angelic light that we just worked with. So releasing old thoughts or old ways, but recognizing them, seeing them clearly as well. as you let go. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but really they're talking about surrendering that. So let me pull a couple of cards for you there. And they're talking about a lot about your heart space. So again, recognizing what you went through, understanding it, recognizing the relationship too. They're talking about.
Yeah. I like that big eye. It's really looking at it, because part of what happened to me was my life got thrown into such disorder with a 13-year-old on my own. And I could run and I didn't look at it. It wasn't until it made sure I looked at it. It laid me in a hospital for 11 days. No
Yeah.
avoiding it there.
Yeah. Growth opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about embrace. So, you know, sometimes when we're going through grief and things like this, like Nancy Jean was saying, find a special place, whether it's a special place in your heart or going outside, a special chair in your house. Or I had a sofa in my family room that was very comfortable. And I knew when that grief would come, I would invite it to go lay on the sofa with me and watch Netflix or whatever I needed to do. But it was exactly where I would go every time. And eventually it was like, when it came, it was like, oh, let's go to the sofa. We know what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have that awareness, then it changes it a little bit. It helps.
And I'm going to pull one more thing for you, Tammy. This is the Power of Surrender cards, because I think these are absolutely marvelous cards. I actually have a deck of these in my phone. So 2 phone readings, I can pull an oracle card for them on the phone, and they can see it. It's fun. Anyway, surrender to play, just like Teri and I were saying. And it says, take a break from overthinking of a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. It's a beautiful card. She's skipping off into the woods and looking at trees and having a good time. Let your body play. Don't feel bad because you're not beating yourself up every minute. And that's the healthy. And like Teri said, find a place where you can acknowledge your grief. Okay, we're going to hide you, and we're going to Candy Mullen. Thank God Teri's on the show, because Candy, she explained to me what you do. I'm just starting to release videos on my YouTube channel, and I would like to know if it'll be a successful channel. Thank you. And she's working with Reiki, isn't that something like Reiki or Reiki?
Yeah, she's a Reiki master. She's a healer, and she's also very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about doing something a lot like what we're talking about now, of 30 days of healing, or 30 days of doing something in joy. So,
okay, let me see. I went to look for your channel. I couldn't find it. It's probably me. It's not you, but anyway, Candy. Yes, looking good. Okay, you're going to have to kind of be more freewheeling with it than you've been, because you want to control everything and you can't. Just throw it out there and laugh about it. That's how I ran my channel for years.
That's how I did it, man.
Mm-hmm. And the Lovers is you're having trouble making choices about which direction to go in, and you shouldn't, because you'd like to come and play with other people. Well, if you can contact me, Candy, there through my garden, you can find me. You know, I'd love to talk to you face to face and see if we can work something out where you could come on one time and explain to me what you do, so then I know. And you're not totally in touch with your psychic self right at the moment, and that's you're trying too hard. Your psychic self creeps in when you're not looking for it, And I think I've had mine since I was a kid, but I know a lot of people, when they think I'm supposed to be psychic and focused, they're trying so hard that their psychic goes, no, I don't work well under pressure. And that's all you need to do. And let's see what we can do about your high priestess. Yeah, it's let your mind go and don't get too analytical. Just have fun. You're going to like the rest of this show because we're all talking about having fun. What you got, Teri?
Somebody was asking me about these cards. It's Whispers of Lord Ganesh.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Ganesh.
Yeah. It's Angela Hartfeld. Well, I get really similar to what you get, Nancy Jane. It's relax.
Mm-hmm.
Just let yourself relax into it. It's coming. Be innocent about it,
Mm-hmm.
like a kid. That joy and wonder. Count your blessings, and you have blessings. Nancy Jean just asked you to be on. You've got blessings all around you, so just jump off. This is like the Fool, right?
Right.
Just jumping off the cliff, man. Jump into it. And if anybody's seen the first videos that I put out, you're going to say, "Whoa, what's she doing on here?"
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, there is splendor in it. There is
Mm-hmm.
splendor in all the little things all around.
Mm-hmm.
But it leads to prosperity. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
Okay. So our last question that came in from the question says, Josephine Schwartz and Josephine, okay, is there a message from my guides? I'm going to tell you, I've been like what I do now since I was a kid, but I never had a guide, and I never had, my guardian angel or any. I mean, they were there, but I was just like, I unfortunately went through the 70s working psychic fairs where everybody's guide was some pharaoh or some American Indian princess and, all this stuff. And I was like, I just made me roll my eyes. And that was just me. It was my limited little self. And I said, I used to talk to him. I'd say, if you're there, fine. Just don't let me fall off a cliff. And trust me, they worked. They didn't. I was 69 and I went and saw Brian Weiss, who was at the time, it was before COVID. And I went to see him in Austin, and I'm back. And he hypnotized a ballroom with 800 people in it 5 times that day. And one of the hypnosis that he did was to have us go meet our guide. And it's, if you can go into my old shows, and I have a thing about guides, ghosts, and how to get there. And I talk about that whole experience of meeting Addie, who's been with me my whole life. And I was sort of embarrassed, and I looked at her and I went, I'm really sorry. I never kind of went looking for you or anything. And she said, that's okay. You did everything I needed you to do. So,
wow.
So, but I will tell you my second guide, and then I'll let Teri go, is Frank. And I found him with automatic writing. Addie told me to try automatic writing, and it worked. And if you can try some of that, but I really think that it works so much better when you find them on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw mine. I think I was 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw her at the top of the steps at my grandma's house, and everybody's like, and I came running in crying, oh my gosh, there's this woman. She's so beautiful. She's at the top of the steps, but she's still around. She's, I call her the angel of love and light.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her. That's what works for us. But I like that you're asking people to find their guides themselves, because I feel like it makes so much sense, and they are all around us all the time, and there's many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we all have a pretty full room. It's like you can't turn around before there's spirit there. And they're always all around you.
And anyway, we're now that we're back to the screen and everybody's going to go find their guides, probably feeling very stuffed in their chairs, like, oh, they're sitting right next to me. And I'm looking through the comments to see if anything's crucial. But when Teri and I were talking about this today, both of us had the same sort of feelings about what's going on in the world. And it's that you really need to work on just doing things for yourself. And I can't tell you how much I really have just been overwhelmed since the blue light came in, that we need to take care of ourselves first. A lot of people being woken up, and the first thing you want to do is run around and help everybody. But I can guarantee you that's the fastest way to burn out and to not be effective for yourself or for them. So Teri came up with some great ideas. I came up with a funny idea, and this is mine. Okay. Fun idea to play with in 2024. Look up the tune that was #1 on the Billboard charts on your 24th birthday. And then think about that as a theme for your 2024. And I read about this. I didn't make this up. I read about it. And so I thought, well, that's kind of cool. You can Google the Billboard charts on your birthday, where it would be. And I unfortunately, I missed You Are the Sunshine of My Life by a week. I got Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree, which when I saw it, it immediately started buzzing through my head again. And so now I have that little worm in my brain whizzing its way around. But it's not a bad thought, to if you think about the whole story of that song. But what do you think, Teri? Do you think this is a great plan?
I'll tell you what, when you said that, I looked it up and it was like, these songs have been going through my head for so long, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. I love it. So mine is Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh God, that's a long song.
I know. But the second one, and because I got the whole chart, man, and I was looking at all of them. I'm like, yes, check. Maniac is #2. Love that because I like the idea of it. I like that flash dance girl. I mean, little dancer. So, and Mr. Roboto, that was the other one that I really, generated with that I thought. Do you remember that?
No, you're much younger than I am. I was already a grown up and out of the top 40 at that
point. What is it? Miss Orogato, Mr. Roboto. No. Anyway, but it's really, it's a fun, silly song. So I love that because I feel like music transforms us, the harmony of it, and the memory of it. And I wonder, and I know that this is 24 for 24, but I wonder what that does in your brain too, to remember that at that age, because I feel like these songs have been in my brain so many times or in my mind over the years. So
all it does for me is remind me of working way too long at a PBS station raising money. That's what I was doing at the time. So I had to actually sit down and go, what was I doing when I was 24?
Yeah. I was going dancing a lot. I know all that. I remember dancing to these songs.
Yeah. So. Well, I never danced to Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree.
I do love that song though.
Yeah, it's a happy, perky kind of thing, especially because at the end he finds a whole town full of yellow ribbons, which I thought was a very uplifting end of it. But so anyway, that's your assignment to try and see that. And then we've got one other thing. Teri sent me a list, and it's like we say, go do good things for yourself, and then you go, what good things? And we know, what they are. Anyway, she came up with this list. And this is a list of self-care, and I'll let you talk about the list too, Teri, because um, but I'm going to hopefully, if I can track down my webmaster, this will be under resources. I have a folder on my web page where you can find prayers that protect you from, help you cast out darkness, or things that help you meditate, all kinds of crap that I do.
All kinds of crap. I love
Yeah,
it.
the stuff, no stuff people, what has happened, I'd talk about the violet flame, which really helps you flame out negative energy from you. And I'd have 47 people writing me wanting it. And so by putting it on my website, that saves me 47 emails.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah. It's also, I love the violet flame. These are just some little things that came to me, but, and a lot of them are things, whatever resonates with you. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's so many little things that we can do. It doesn't have to be, a day at the spa or a retreat or something like that. You can meditate if you like to meditate. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever that means to you. Some people do walking meditations in the woods. Some people do silent meditation. Some people like a guided meditation. Dance. That's always my
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing, dance and music. So definitely looking at music, listening to music. Um, and different vibrations, different, um, um, oh, I'll think of that word by midnight. Anyway, frequencies. So
Mm-hmm.
as frequency comes in, just noticing it in your heart and abiding in your heart, how it feels and the difference. Um, Cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
your favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've got a favorite movie for every season.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever works for you. Call a friend. I feel like that's really important. Because today a lot of us, we just look at our phones, right? And we'll
Mm-hmm.
text people instead of talking. I'm a big thrifter, people. So going to the thrift store is like my guilty pleasure. And I'll say, okay, you've had a great day. You're going to reward yourself. Go to the thrift store for 5 minutes or half an hour, whatever you want. I don't need any more junk. Let me just tell you that. But that's a reward for me to go in there and do something. Favorite meal, play with the grandkids or your kids, read, uh, take a minute for you, just for you. Like, just sit in silence and look around you, what it looks like, what it feels like. And when you do that, if you go into your senses and like with your sense of smell and touch and hearing, taste, it really does center you. Take a minute for you. Watch favorite TV, YouTube show, guilty pleasures. I like the design shows. Sometimes I'll go on. My real guilty pleasure is watch guilty pleasure show. Schmaltz is like something with one of the housewives or something silly like that.
Oh, yeah.
And that is schmaltz, but I just like to see what they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So, chakra balance, that's really important right now, and essential oils. So, Psychology Today just did an article, and they were talking about if you smell essential oils, the use of them, they found through studies that it increases your brain activity 226%, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Because, that's uh, my things on here is I meditate every morning because that's the only way I can convince myself I really want to get up. I don't dance much. If you know about my knees, I don't like doing anything that makes them weird. But I love music. I love all kinds of music. Cups of tea. I was married to an Englishman, and I drink brewed tea. And one
oh,
of my things that fascinates me is to go out and find tea samplers and sample all the different tastes, and you'd be amazed what fun stuff is really out there. And I majored in broadcast film, so I have a whole bunch of movies that I spent years analyzing to get my degree. And I was talking to my daughter. What was it? Oh, it was Rear Window was on last week.
Oh,
And
wow.
I said, "You've seen this before?" And she said, "Yeah, Mom." She said, "You forget who raised me." Oops. Um, and calling a friend is just, it's so freeing. For one, when you get to me my age, you call them and they're still there. That's always good. Um, and just calling friends and seeing where they are and catching up with them. Thrift stores. I read Tarot in a thrift store Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 4.5 or 5 years,
Wow.
and got to sit there and watch all the people come in, got to watch the people selling their stuff, got to watch the people finding that one thing they really wanted. And what the staff loved me for was because I had been a child of the 50s and the 60s, I could tell the difference between knockoff garments as they were starting to, that was becoming an age that they could put up as vintage.
Yeah.
I could look at the hems and the seams and stuff and see if they'd really been made in that time, because after the 60s and the 70s they started making the seam salvages so much more narrow. And these kids had never sewn and I'd sewn, so it was kind of great fun. Um, and thrift stores are great places to go watch people if you want to find a place to do that.
Right.
And I unfortunately have way too many favorite meals, which got me up to the 330 that I've now slimmed down from. But there are some meals that I just can't resist. If, I make my chicken pot pie, I have to hope there's a lot of people around to eat it, or else I know where it's all going. Play with my grandkids. My grandkids are wonderful, but they're in Austin. So every time I get a chance to do stuff with them, I really enjoy it. Reading's the hardest one I have to do. I really find it hard to focus at this point in my life and read like a whole book. So
Yeah.
I'm cheating on my reading. I do a lot of Audible.
I do
And,
too.
and sometimes taking a minute just for myself can be a bit of a problem, because I always know there's that nagging email from the person who wants to learn about the classes I teach or what else I do. And, and I have to turn my back on it and say, okay, yeah, that's money, but, and watch YouTube shows, do that. Guilty pleasure. Oh, I found a new one last night. Medieval Murders. And
Ooh.
it's a forensic, it's a documentary. It's a forensic uh, person, and they go back to crimes that are over 4,000 years old, where they find them in caves, where they try to figure out, how did this come about. And they also found a guy from the Middle Ages who'd been a general in Italy, and because of their looking at it and how his body was preserved, they figured out that he'd been poisoned.
Whoa.
Years. I mean, this was like medieval Italy. He ran Verona, you know, and that, so I mean, and I just sat there last night and I started watching it and I went, "This is fascinating. How can they go back in all these years, like, and figure out who they are?" They figure out a guy. He could have been a pilgrim, he could have been a soldier of fortune, or he could have been a local guy who got stabbed. And they found just 3/4 of his body in the ground, and it was buried in a weird place. So they looked at the stab marks. They figured out he was stabbed with a dagger. And then finally they figured out through the minerals in his bones that he was a local man. So he got killed in a bar fight.
Whoa.
I mean, kind of fun.
Man.
Yeah,
Do
I
they
know.
do they have an intuitive that helps them? Somebody that knows.
That stuff, nah. They use, well, they do. They have a guy who used to be featured on the 48 Hours, and his from Shreveport. He's a really good detective. And one of the people they found died in the 1800s. They found this body in this cave in Utah,
Wow.
and they tracked it all back down. It was really, it's on Curiosities. And then balancing my chakras. That I go and talk to Dr. Gale. And I said, is it out of line? And she kind of dismisses it. So I don't know if it's so out of line it's not worth fixing, or you can never know. But I always like to go to someone who's outside of me about it. But essential oils I love. And if
Yeah.
you want to get the most from an essential oil, rub it on the soles of your feet.
Oh.
Did you know that all your nerves go down there and then they come up? And if you don't believe that's true, take a small clove of garlic and rub it on the bottom of your foot. And 10 minutes later, you think you're eating garlic bread.
I'm going to try that because that's so good for cleansing too, isn't it?
It
Garlic.
is. It just sweeps through your whole system, you know?
I'm going to do that. Yeah, I have an atomizer by my bed and I hadn't used it in months. And
Mm-hmm.
when I read that, I was like, okay, every night now I'm doing different essential oils, but it's nice.
It is. And it's
Yeah.
very freeing.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes a big difference. But it also helps me sleep when I
Mhm.
put it by my bed. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a lavender. It's a roll on and it's called Relax. And you just roll it on your chest here and then you lay down and you go to sleep for the night.
Yeah. That's what I use, lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some tea tree in it. And I put a little lemon in every once in a while with the tea tree, but I know that's supposed to wake you up, but it feels good. So it's working.
It's very healing. Okay. To get to from the sublime to the ridiculous. Okay. FI, her birthday song is Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor. And another one had Nickelback, How You Remind Me. These are Sinead O'Connor, I know. Nickelback I heard of, but I don't really know their songs. Medium Betsy says that hers is Mine is When Doves Cry.
Love that song, Betsy. Oh my gosh. And hello.
And then another person they must have had a lot of charts around them. They got Gangsta Paradise, Waterfalls, and Kiss from a Rose.
Oh,
And
love
then I got, this is another youngin', Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You.
mm-hmm.
And then another person got 1984. Was that a song?
Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what, see, I sort of watched the Beatles and left it at that.
I,
Vernie got Ghostbusters 1974.
that was
What
amazing.
call?
Yeah.
That's your theme for 2024. And then Debbie got Good Luck Charm, Johnny Angel, Slow Twistin', and the Mashed Potato.
Oh, those are all great. Yeah, I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Love those.
And those are the songs we got. Now we're back to questions. And I think, are you picking up a lot of questions on your end you'd like to bring in, or we can just go to these and finish it out?
Oh, we can just go to yours. Yeah. I haven't been hi Michelle.
Somebody you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take it because it shows they go to both channels. Okay, get a reading for January. So this means I get to disappear again.
Okay. Michelle, are you thinking about I know this sounds weird, but either moving or traveling or doing something like a different energy, something with a new energy. So some change that you're thinking about making. They're talking about embracing it. So let's move on. Perseverance. So when you're making that change, are you looking at your cup half full? Are you looking at a full cup? Also, just going through with it, like being strong and setting an intention and your path. And then, oh,
Ganesh.
Acceptance, knowing when you get there that you're
Mhm.
full. So, accepting what you really want. It's interesting. Hmm.
Because
I'm gonna
what
pull
I got
one more.
is she's written up a whole lot of stuff the beginning of the month that she doesn't feel she can accomplish. It's if she's got the Ace of Wands reversed, but you've got the Sun in here, so you've got all the energy and the power behind you that you could ever need. It's a matter of you getting up and speaking your own truth and going for it, and you're going to find a way to find the balance to it. And I think by the end of January, you're going to be really ready to go. I think this month is a month of preparation.
She says she'd like to move because the neighborhood is bad, but her dad is 93 years old, so it would be hard for him. Okay.
Well, maybe you'll find other ways to resolve those problems. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that worked out. When do we see financial stability or some more income coming in? I wish I had my garden out. It's better for telling time than my cards are. But we'll go with what we got. What's wrong? Okay. I'm going to say that there's people have drained you and you can't get the money back out of them that you lent them, and now you're really, you need to start looking at that list of things you can do for yourself because you're spending too much time worrying about a lot of other people. And let's see, I'd say the end of the month things are going to get clearer for you because I see better people coming in. But a lot of it is your own attitude. You have to really, really think in terms of where you can get some more money. And I'm going to put some of this. There's some coming in. It's going to be, but it's not going to be this month. I see that there's some situation you really need to walk away from because it's part of what causes you to have this financial instability. And as soon as you've walked away from it, the universe is going to let you have some money again because they know you're not going to give it all away. So, what you got, Teri?
I got so I pulled these angel cards for you. You see those three portals there, three windows. This is about your guardian angel. So asking your guardian angel and working with them, but also that three that could be what is that? January, February, March. Could be March. Listening, and that's usually listening to ourselves, what we hear ourselves say. Like Nancy June was saying, are you caught up? Are you having some bad self-talk there about loaning people money or about past mistakes? Are you telling yourself that you did something wrong and persevering over that? So let go of it. Give it to the moon. Make a change with it. And then balance. Come into balance with it. So, and then, you get your wishes fulfilled, soulmate. So,
I can't leave you like that with that answer that I gave. I mean, it's the answer that I got. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, I have a really pretty new Oracle deck, Angels and Auras.
oh, that's beautiful.
And the cool thing about it is it's done by Radley Valentine, who normally doesn't ever put reverses. And he none of his tarot decks can you read reversed. He's designed them so there's a way you can tell by the back of the cards. He doesn't want to, but he did this with Dougal Fraser, and Dougal does colors and angels, and Dougal convinced him that they could do a reverse in these cards. So I don't know if you're going to get a reverse. Okay. And you're not going to believe it. The card you got's abundance reversed. And the lesson from this is that you've shrouded yourself with doubt, pessimism, mundane things that are misfortune, but you can turn it into a different card where abundance comes in. And the words for that are faith, optimism, excitement, and breakthrough. And that's what I was seeing in the cards. You need to change your own self-talk to bring the abundance in.
She's saying she got cheated very badly and hence very hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as you say, are they going to do that to me again? That's like telling the universe it's what I expect. And trust me, I talked to a lady the other day who couldn't figure out why she was owed some money and why it hadn't come in. And some things fell apart rather rapidly. She's in the process of living in her car till she can move to her next job. But the only reason she could afford to live in her car is all that money came in at once. So,
Wow.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, that self-talk too, listening to ourselves.
Especially if you were badly hurt and ripped off. Trust me, I've been through those periods in my life where I had bosses telling me do this and then we're going to get to this point, and you do it and you get to that point and
Nothing.
that point sucks.
Yeah. It does suck.
So for this lady, I'm going to pull an oracle card from the same deck. Does Spirit have a message for me? And we have time for one more. And this lovely lady wrote, do you have time for one more? When we finish this one, at least you're polite. Okay. Yeah, and this goes along perfectly with what we were talking about today. Be the real you. I don't know if you can see what this graphic is, but this woman is peeling off her business suit and going into casual clothes underneath. So be the real you. You need freedom. You can find your way with freedom, authenticity, uniqueness, and courage. Be the real you. So that's what your messages are from your spirit today. So what did you get?
I get basically the same thing, freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So let it fly, and then see all the little angels, the children, playing like, dance like no one's watching. Get out there, let go.
Okay. And Sharon O'Brien, time for one more? Is my health going in the right direction? So let's see.
Sharon, yeah, my pendulum says yes, it's going in the right direction. They're also showing me a man. So I don't know if you have someone come in, a male figure, that's helping you, a physician or a practitioner, but
She
something
does.
about she does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be very helpful.
Okay, this is the ending of this period of time where it took them a while to figure it out, but once they got there, and it was actually a younger person that helped her. The Six of Wands, to me, when it's right side up, it's that you don't know how to put all those wands together. When it's reversed, this is 6. Yeah. When it's reversed, you can see the guys finally figuring out how to get them all to work. So it took them a while to get to your answer, and you're going to feel it really soon, and not wake up every day saying, oh, what's it going to be today? You're starting to gradually let go of that fear of when you're underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed or wondering what the hell's going on. And then you have the High Priestess, which is, it's all going to be revealed to you very soon. So it looks great.
Yeah. That's great, Sharon.
So, And with that, we are exactly at 59
Yay.
minutes. Because I know I don't like to watch shows that are longer than 60 minutes. So we're going to say goodbye to everybody and blessings to you. And,
Bye, everybody. Yeah, thanks, Nancy Jean. That was fun.
and really look, I'll hopefully get that list up. I got to get a hold of my webmaster, but it'll be in the resources folder and you can look at it, or maybe you just jotted down and said, oh, that one sounds like fun. So go for it. But if you run across anything that sounds like fun, go for it, because now's the time to do it. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Dr. Gal.
Bye, Dr. Gail.